Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle. And watch your step on the moving walkway because we're taking you park to park to prepare you for your next visit. Let's Discover Universal.
Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. My name is Kari, and I just used the official Universal app to mobile order a Voodoo Donut.
They deliver to the studio?
Nah, I gotta go get it.
And I'm David, and I parked in ET305. ET305. ET305.
Don't forget.
I'm not going to forget this time.
I hope not.
This episode is all about logistics, how to get here, what to do, what you need to know to enjoy a day here at Universal Orlando Resort.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yes.
Because even if you've been here a million times or if you've never stepped foot in a theme park before, you know, a Universal Orlando vacation, stress-free, right?
I love it.
It's chill.
You go with the flow.
That's right. Let loose. It's all about having a good time. And we're going to give you the best insider tips and tricks to get to that stress-free vacation faster. So we're going to break this down into three separate sections. One is going to be transportation. Now, that's all-encompassing. That's transportation, how to get to the parks. That's how you get transported when you're here at the parks. Internal, external transportation, a lot of options, and all of them are very convenient.
Yeah, we're also going to be talking about ticketing. We want to make sure you know how to get into the parks so you can have some fun. We have a lot of different types of ticket options, 3 different amazing theme parks here at Universal Orlando. So we want to make sure we break down how all that works.
Yeah. And third, we're going to be doing some interviews with some guest services representatives, and they are the ultimate gurus. And certainly we are going to ask them some questions that even David and I have no idea what the answers are. So we're really lucky to have them today. They're going to break down all of the amazing amenities and services that we offer here at Universal Orlando Resort.
I bet they've had questions that we've never even thought of.
I think that is something we should ask them. What's the
Yes.
craziest question they've ever been asked?
To be fair, I think we have a lot to learn from this episode because as you all know, we are longtime team members here. So
That's right.
we experience the parks a little differently. I mean, we're at the parks all the time, but you know, you guys are guests coming through the front door and encountering things that we maybe haven't thought about or dealt with in a while. So
That's right.
We really want to delve in and make sure we hit all those need to knows. So for our longtime fans of Universal Orlando, we're guessing you might be familiar with a lot of this information already.
That's right.
We didn't forget about you. We're really excited. We have a lot of new stuff coming where we want to sort of kind of dive into Universal Orlando, all the attractions here, maybe talk to some of the creators, maybe look into some of the backstories and behind the scenes things. And that's where you guys really come in as well. You know, whenever you see those posts on social media about the podcast, do us a favor and respond what you want to hear, what you want to hear us talk about, what are your favorite attractions that you want to hear more about or learn more about. Because we do really want to steer this podcast for you guys, our fans, and do the stuff that you guys enjoy listening to.
It's all about you guys.
We have a blast talking about this stuff. So,
All right, David, it's time to break this down. So some people, when they come to Universal Orlando Resort, they think it's like maybe one big park, but it is not. Okay, so walk us through what we have here on property.
Okay.
When we say on property, what does that consist of?
Oh boy. Okay, so we have 3 amazing theme parks.
Yes.
Universal Studios Florida, Universal's Islands of Adventure, and Universal's Volcano Bay.
Soon to be a 4th theme park.
That's right.
Currently, at the time of this recording, we have 3.
Universal's Epic Universe.
That's right.
Coming soon.
Yes.
To be talked about on a later podcast when they tell us something about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so 3 amazing theme parks. We have our, of course, amazing entertainment district, which is City Walk.
Yes.
And then we have all the Universal hotels. There's 8 hotels around the property. Some are on the lagoon, right next to the park. And then, of course, we have Universal's Endless Summer Resort as well, which is also accessible by bus transportation as well.
Yes. So everything is close to each other.
Yes.
When we say close to each other, within a shuttle ride.
If not closer.
If
Yes.
not closer, yes. So we do have transportation internally here on property for you to enjoy, shuttles to and from those hotels. When David says they're on the lagoon, yes, the lagoon is home to our water taxi system that will take you in between some of our hotels and always makes a stop at City Walk. And that's the entrance to 2 of our parks, Universal's Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida.
Do we need to step it back even further?
We probably
How
do.
do we even get here
Oh my gosh.
to Universal Orlando Resort?
Great question.
By the way, Universal Orlando Resort, we're not talking Universal Studios Hollywood today.
No.
That's its own. We're going to do a Universal Studios Hollywood episode one day, and we'll cover all that stuff
I have
then.
no idea how to get there.
I mean, I did. I used to live in Hollywood.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
There's a very large hill.
Oh.
And we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay, to be discussed
If you've been
further.
to Universal Studios Hollywood, you know about that
The
hill.
hill.
But
We
yeah,
don't
we'll
have
cover that later.
hills very much here.
No, not in Florida.
In Orlando. So
The maximum elevation in Florida is 200 feet.
I think so. I don't know. But here, pretty flat. Don't worry. If you're walking around at Universal Orlando Resort, you're going to be comfortable. You're not climbing mountains or anything. All right, let's break it down. Airport transportation. Let's say you're flying in
Yes.
from out of state or in state, wherever.
What airport should we fly into?
If it was me, I'm going to be flying into MCO,
Right.
Orlando International Airport.
Yes.
And another option, you can fly into the Orlando Sanford International Airport. This is just a little bit north of Orlando. If you're driving in, you can absolutely do that as well. We have some options for you. If you're staying at any of our hotels, you can park overnight for a fee. You can also, if you're coming for the day, come to our parking garage at City Walk. Also for a daily rate, you can check the website for any of those details. Also, if you're a fan of getting places on foot, we got a whole walking path that connects several of our hotels and our City Walk area. The City Walk area is a bridge between those walking areas and the parks.
We talked about those a little bit on our hotels episode of the podcast.
Right.
You can jump back there if you want to know more about our amazing hotels.
Yes.
There's a butterfly garden near the Hard Rock Hotel that I always love mentioning.
I still have never been through
It's
there.
super cool. You got to take a walk.
I really do.
Let's take a walk.
Let's do it.
Not right now.
Okay.
There's 3 different areas in each of the 2 parking structures.
Yes.
And so that helps you. There's a character. They play music. If you're in the Jaws parking lot, you're walking to your car and it's dun, 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 dun. I can't keep going because then we're not allowed to use music.
That's right.
But you know it. But do not fear. Do not be overwhelmed by the enormity of the engineering marvel that you were walking through. Because Carrie's pulling up the Universal Orlando app. Because there's a feature on that. Carrie's such a fan of this parking reminder.
Listen. So when you come in and you're so excited to get in the parks, and maybe you forget where you're at, or maybe you just didn't think about it because you're just thinking forward to the amazing fun day that you're going to have. Nay. The official Universal Orlando app will help you. You go to the drop-down menu in the top left corner, you hit parking reminder. You can input your section, whether you're in the north garage or the south garage. You can pick which section you have. You can pick which level you're on, which row you're in. You can take a picture of your car and you can add a note. If you're I parked next to the weird orange truck, or remember you drove your white truck, not your orange car today. Whatever it is, you can.
There's a picture you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, in case you forget what your car looks like.
In case you forget what your car, David, sometimes people are so excited they can forget. But this is a really, really helpful tool that the app provides you. As soon as you get on property, that parking reminder, it's going to be so helpful. And remember, before you get on property, definitely make sure you download that official Universal Orlando app. It is going to be the best tool in your toolbox all day long when you're here. It's got everything on there. It has interactive park map. It has the hours. It has show times. It has
mobile food ordering.
Yes, so much information.
It'll show you where the nearest bathrooms are.
Always helpful.
If you need that.
Very important. So, David, there are different ways, like you said, okay, we're here, we parked, but there's different levels of parking, right?
Oh, yes.
You don't even have to physically park your own car if you don't want to.
So yeah, there is an option for valet parking. There's a lot of different options for parking. In our regular City Walk garage, there's options there. There's valet parking. All of them have their own associated fees. And for more information, you can look at the Universal Orlando website for all that parking and transportation information. And there is also handicap parking as well.
That's right. Now, there is a fee to park, but good news, on most nights, after 6 p.m., there is no fee specifically for self-parking.
Yeah, so you can, especially that's great for the locals if you want to just enjoy City Walk, come watch a movie, come have some dinner.
That's right.
So you're here, you've parked, you've used the official app to remember where you've parked.
Helpful.
And now you follow the crowd of people. You go with the flow.
Swim with the stream. So you are going to walk to the hub, what we call the hub.
Yeah, so those are those moving walkways we talked about. They move you all the way down to our security hub. Mm-hmm. And there we have our little security checkpoint there. You'll go through some metal detectors, put your bags and everything into the plastic trays through the x-ray machine. Want to make sure everybody's having fun and safe here at the park, of course.
That's right.
Shouldn't take too long. They got it down to a science.
They really do.
They get the people through. Yeah, and that really is the hub. In case you haven't mentioned it already, I mean, that is where the resort shuttles arrive.
Yep.
That is where, your rideshare, your taxi is going to drop off, even if you don't drive and park yourself. So that is where the journey begins for many of our guests.
Yes,
there in the security hub.
You take the elusive moving walkway
Moving walkway.
to the entrance.
And and then you take a selfie.
Yeah, obviously.
Because if you didn't take a selfie, did you even come to Universal?
If you didn't prove it on the Insta, were you here?
But yes, at that point, you are now officially in Universal City Walk.
Yes.
And then you'll pass forward through. Maybe you want to grab a coffee, a snack, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen to our City Walk episode to learn all about that stuff. But now you've arrived.
Yes.
And now you have a choice if you want to go left around the City Walk Lagoon towards Universal's Islands of Adventure, or if you want to turn right and loop around to Universal Studios Florida. If you are going to Universal's Volcano Bay, we got to take a couple steps back because that shuttle actually leaves from the north parking structure. So once you follow the signs to parking for Universal's Volcano Bay, there's actually a little security station and the shuttle buses that will bring you right to the front doors of our beautiful tropical island over there at Volcano Bay. So our journey, our park-going journey, we've now reached the gates of whatever insert park here.
Yes.
And now we've reached the ticket window.
Yes.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options.
I know. This is okay. This is logistically a tough one to unpack, but we're gonna clarify it. We're gonna break it down, and we are gonna bring in some experts who know what they're talking about.
We're hitting the expert button.
That's right. We need a lifeline here. So we're gonna bring in our guest services gurus, Jillian and Sarah. They are gonna answer all ticketing questions about Universal Orlando Resort.
We are now joined here in the studio with a couple of VIPs from guest services. We have Jillian and Sarah helping us out. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so happy to be here.
We're so excited.
I would love for you guys to tell our listeners what you guys do, where you work, talk about your teams.
Introduce yourselves.
So I'm Sarah. I'm the assistant manager for the digital guest communications team. I have been with UO for 15 years in June.
Nice.
I really, really, really love it here.
You got that cool pin.
Yeah, I'm getting the
pin.
cool pin real soon.
Deserve it.
So yeah, I've been here 15 years. I started at the front gate. I've worked in parking, valet. I loved valet. That team was so awesome. And now I'm working my dream job, digital guest communications, assisting guests via social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, via our review sites, using hashtag Ask Universal and hashtag UO Fist Bump. Super fun.
Yay.
Cool.
I'm Jillian. I've been with Universal for 8 years at this point. I started off in 2014, and then I came over to guest services in the park, and then I went up to guest communications, where I am currently the assistant manager. I support the phone and email team, so if you all are calling us via phone or sending an email before you arrive, while you're here, or after you go home, you are talking to my team.
That's great. You guys are very communicative. We appreciate you all. Thank you.
We need to defer to the experts here because there is a lot of questions and a lot of things that our guests need to know when they're coming here to Universal Orlando Resort. We've kind of been guiding them through the entry process, how to get here. But now we've arrived at our journey at the gates and of the theme parks. And so maybe we could start talking about ticketing options, right?
Sure. Well, one of the first places they're gonna join is the guest services area, right? So if you guys could tell us a little bit about what that looks like, or what you guys do there at guest services.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different options that guests can choose from whenever they get to the park to pick up their tickets.
Okay.
Obviously, there's the mobile app option where if a guest pre-purchases those tickets, they're just already on the mobile app. If a guest did select to pick up those tickets in person, they would need to go to the will call kiosk. It is a self-service kiosk that guests can just walk right up to and print their tickets.
Easy.
So it's really fast, really easy. We also have team members stationed out there to help the guests in case they get confused or they need somebody to help guide them. But guest services also has a presence out there at the front of the park. There are windows outside, so before you even get inside the park, you're able to go speak with a guest services team member. They can help you print out your tickets, or they can help you buy new tickets if you didn't know that you needed tickets to get in the park or you weren't sure what type of ticket to buy. So we have lots of people out front to help the guests.
You do need tickets to get in the park.
You do.
You too.
Yes.
For sure. That's
the basic one.
That just makes me feel so supported, knowing that there's like a team of smiling people out there that are like, we got you,
For sure. Always. Yeah. They can also help add on extra things if you're looking for express passes or anything like that that's extra in addition to your tickets. They have those options available too.
Okay, so
That's a good call. Yeah, let's talk upgrades.
Yeah. So we're coming in and there's 3 parks, right? So how if I've never been here before and I want to be able to maybe experience all 3 parks or more than one park in a day, what are my options there?
So there's multiple ticket options that we have. We have probably the best ticket option is a park-to-park option.
Okay.
And that allows you to travel to all 3 parks in one day or just the 2 dry parks in one day and then visit Volcano Bay on another day, which is my personal favorite thing to do.
Yes.
Is do both parks in one day and
Me
then
too.
take a relaxing day at Volcano Bay.
Good
She's
call.
an expert. Right.
But yeah, that I think is the best option is a park to park. We also have base tickets that allow you to do 1 park each day, but you do miss out on some of the really cool experiences.
Okay, so we've talked about the ticket options, but like David said, there are upgrades. Walk us through those upgrades that you can purchase through guest services.
So, like Sarah was saying, one of the options is to purchase an express pass. So, there are a couple of different options for express passes. There is the single-use express pass. So, that's going to allow the guests to go on all those participating attractions one time with that express pass.
Okay.
And then there's also the unlimited option. That's the one I prefer because you can go on the participating attractions as many times as you want with that express pass. And I'm a big fan of riding a ride, getting off and going, okay, I was way too excited. I don't know what I was doing. I need to go on it again to really get the full experience.
To remember the whole time. You need to stop screaming and remember it.
I need to stop screaming.
Yes, got it.
That's you like go multiple rides at once in a row?
I do, yeah. So I build myself up before I go on roller coasters like Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. You know, it's massive. It's right at the front of Universal Studios. You get to pick your own song whenever you get on. And I need to go twice. The first time for the ride, the second time for the song.
Good call.
That's cool. I've never thought about it like
That's
that.
that's a VIP tip right there.
Yeah.
I love it. Good call, Jillian.
Use those Universal Express Unlimited passes to just keep re-riding.
Exactly.
You'll probably you'll get to know the attractions operations person's name. Like, hey, yeah, me again.
You again.
Yeah, ride 3.
There you go.
Let's go.
You're the guy with the country song, right? Cool. All right, so we got our Express Pass upgrade. What other upgrades do we have?
You can also get the photo package, which is another really cool thing. If you're visiting with your family, you want to not necessarily have one person taking all your photos for you and your family. Like you can get everyone in the photos. I know for me, like that's a very personal thing for me. Like I have photos with my family and some of my family members are no longer here. So I love having all of those photos with everyone.
Yeah.
So
I've actually personally never used the photo service.
It's awesome. It's called My Universal Photos.
So there's different like on-ride experiences that do have photo options. There are some photographers throughout the park, but those are pretty much the different options that we have.
That's great.
Cool. And so like at the end of the day, you stop in. I see like the photo store like on the way out.
Yeah, there's 2. There's one at either park, and then you can stop in there, view your photos. You can download your photos. There's an app for them. So
Very cool. Okay, well, what if you want the ultimate VIP experience?
Are you going all out?
I
You
want
want the luxury,
I want to ball out. All right.
personalized VIP experience?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Tell us about those options.
So for that, you're going to want a VIP tour. So for those guests that, like you said, want that ultimate VIP experience, they would actually need to book a tour. We have a couple of different options. We have a non-private tour, which is going to allow you to be booked on a tour with different guests from different families. So this is good for somebody that maybe wants to come have their first experience at Universal. Maybe they're dipping their toes in the water and they want to get that elite experience, but that maybe they're not a VIP as of yet. They don't really know what to experience from the park.
Got it.
There's also the private VIP option. So that is going to be the option that is our top tier product that we offer.
Okay.
That is for guests to book for just their family. So they would have a private VIP guide to be with them and their family for the duration of the day. The difference between the private and non-private also is that private VIP tours, the guests are kind of the tour guide in which they get to pick what they do throughout the day and they get to tell the tour guide what they want to do. So if the guest wants to spend the entire day going in and out of Revenge of the Mummy and learning about the attraction and the story of how the ride came to be, that
Have you
VIP
met
tour
Kari?
guide.
I think Jillian's
that's
calling me
Kari's.
out. I think I'm right here, Jillian. Okay.
Listen,
okay.
I was picking up the vibes. I was picking
I
them
know.
up.
Oh my gosh. That is the dream, honestly.
Yeah, so it's really cool because the guests kind of get to take the reins on that tour and tell the tour guide what they want to experience and kind of make the day their own. For the non-private tour, that's the one that they can choose to be with other families. The VIP tour guide will take the guest on a pre-planned tour. They will get a really good overview of the parks. They will get to go on a bunch of different rides. They have time to get dinner or lunch per day, just depending on what time the tour takes place. And yeah, so that is what I would recommend for somebody that's never been here before and they want a very high-level overview of the rides and the different options that we have here at Universal.
I'll do it all.
I would love to. I love that aspect of it that they like tell the stories and stuff behind the rides too.
Yeah.
Because that's such an important part of like our theme park experience is the stories behind the rides and little Easter eggs and hidden things around the park. And I think that's great that like the super, experienced trained VIP tour guides give you this really like intimate experience in the park. So.
For sure. Okay, I have a question because I know that a lot of our guests come here with kids, with littles, like babies, right? And what do they do? What are some special amenities, I guess, for guests traveling with babies or infants?
So we do have our family rooms near health services. Okay. So there are options there for guests for changing tables or nursing areas. That's a very private room, so you can go off by yourself with your family if you need some time away from the crowds or something like that. We do have those options for families to kind of go and have a little quiet time and be away from crowds or away from the parks. So I think that's the biggest thing is that area.
Can we just clarify where is health services in each park?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Health services is located at the front of each park. So at Universal Studios, it's going to be right next to Lost and Found, inside the gate to the right. At Islands of Adventure, it's inside of guest services, also inside the gate to the right. There's also locations within the park. So at Universal Studios, there's another health services location across from Fast and Furious. Mm-hmm. And then at Islands of Adventure, there's one within Lost Continent as well. Does that help?
That does help. Thank you. And of course, if the children are too small or maybe unwilling to go on a particularly extreme ride that you want to experience, you can take advantage of our child swap areas. So a lot of the bigger rides and attractions have a family room, or one member of the party can wait with the little ones while the rest of the party rides. And then, of course, once they're finished, you swap places, and whoever rode can stay with the kids, and the adults who sat out get to enjoy the ride.
I love that. Okay, I have one more question. What if a guest is coming with a baby, but that baby is furry? They brought their fur babies.
Let me translate that weird question.
They brought
pets. They brought pets.
They brought their floofs.
We both have fur babies.
Yes.
So yeah, we know all about that.
Okay.
So guests are able to bring registered service animals here to the park.
Wonderful.
So they would need to answer a couple of questions at security if they had those questions, but then they would be allowed to bring their dog inside the park for the duration of the day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we do have service dog relief areas throughout both of the parks. Those are clearly marked. You can also download the official Universal Orlando mobile app to find out where those locations are, or you could grab a paper map from the front of the parks, or just ask any team member. We're happy to direct you in those locations. We also have an option at all of the attractions to set up a kennel to leave your dog in while you are riding the attraction.
Really?
Alternatively, you could use the child swap option, which we also have at all the attractions, where you would essentially stay with your animal while the rest of your party goes on the ride. Once the ride ends, the rest of your family would come join you, and one person would swap out and stay with the animal while you get to ride the ride with the rest of your party. But the kennel option is really easy. If you want to do that instead, you would just talk to the team member out at the front of the attraction, let them know that you would need that kennel. They would call a member of management to set up that kennel while you all were waiting in line, and then they would get your animal set up in the kennel. A team member would wait outside the kennel with it while you rode the ride. Once you're done, you would just go pick up your pet and be on the way.
Even if the service animal really likes roller coasters.
Well, they can actually ride some of the attractions,
What?
not the roller coasters,
I
but
was
there
joking,
are a few.
but okay, yes.
Yeah, the more you know, the more you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So child swap is not when you leave your fur baby and pick up a better one.
How do you pick up a better one?
Good point.
I'll take them all.
Very good
All
point.
fur
Good point,
babies
Sarah.
are the best fur
You're
babies.
correct. You're
Yeah.
correct.
Also, I was going to add to that, if we have our rider's guide online, and I recommend that if you are bringing a service animal to the park, that you check that out just to see like which attractions accommodate which different services for your animals, as well as any additional accommodations you might need before you come.
Yeah. Thank you for that. What's that called again?
It's our rider's guide.
Rider's Guide.
Rider's Guide. There's a lot of information in that, I imagine.
Yes. Height requirements, everything you would want to know about different accommodations at each attraction.
Okay, I know I keep asking questions, but I gotta ask another one. It's really important.
That's sort of what we're here to do, Kari.
I
It's
know.
okay.
I know. Okay, so let's say I have dietary restrictions. Let's say maybe I'm a vegan, vegetarian, or special diet. How do I go about eating here on property?
So you can take advantage of a lot of different options that we have here. We are very diet friendly here with different gluten sensitive options. We also have vegetarian and vegan options, kosher meals, different types of options. All of our menus are all encompassing really, and you can read the menus to see kind of what they would have to pre-plan your day. Those are available on the mobile app. You can also go to our official Universal Orlando website to look at the full menus online as well. If you are already here, you can actually go into any of our full service restaurants and ask to speak with the chef. If you are unsure if there's anything on the menu that will accommodate your dietary restrictions, the chefs can actually come out and talk to you, and they are very, very accommodating in that sense.
That's full service.
Oh, yeah, literally
That's
the
amazing.
definition of it.
You can have an individual meal.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
there you go.
if guests want to ask venue-specific questions about those food allergies that they have, they can actually reach out to us before they arrive at food.allergy@universalorlando.com. But yeah, we have a dedicated food services team here to help you pre-plan your trip.
That's a big deal.
I never even thought about that stuff.
I know.
I don't ever plan stuff. Though.
David, I think you should listen to our podcast.
I just let it fly.
We got some really great ideas.
Yeah, we got some great tips.
I know. Okay. I feel like that's the rundown. I mean,
We've covered a lot
man,
there. I'm
guest
trying to look
services.
through my questions. You guys covered so much.
You guys know a lot of stuff.
Also, from like a vegan standpoint,
Yeah. Are you
there's a-
vegan?
I am dairy free, so
Wow.
vegan is a very good option for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know a lot of stuff is customizable. It's also notated on all of our menus. So like during Mardi Gras, there's been so much awesome vegan offerings. It's been really
Cool.
good. The samosas over at the vegan, there's a totally vegan booth, which has been amazing. So delicious. I keep telling everyone to try it, even if they're not vegan, because it's so tasty. Also, we change our options every season. So there's going to be a lot of new options, whether you're vegan or not, for you to try. But also, I recommend looking on our blog too, because there's so many different blog posts about eating vegan, gluten-free, and those different options that are at our park. So if you're planning a trip and you're looking for those options, the blog honestly is where I direct people most.
Good call.
Shout out to the Discover Universal blog.
All right. Now we gotta get personal. All right.
Okay.
You guys obviously come visit the park, right, Sarah? Right, Jillian?
A little bit.
Yeah. All right. Let's say you're coming here for a whole day. Our question is, what do you pack in your universal bag? What stuff are you bringing? What kind of bag are you bringing? What's your best VIP tips?
Oof. So a lot to literally
That's a
unpack
big
with that.
question.
Yeah, great question.
yeah.
So something that you want to consider, especially if you're a thrill seeker and you want to ride any of our roller coasters, there are a lot of attractions that you cannot bring anything on due
Yes.
to safety concerns, up to and including your cell phone. So
Okay.
I always keep that in mind whenever I'm coming to the parks. I usually personally like to carry a smaller backpack that is going to be easily stored inside of a locker. Think something that's like a small purse size, but just has straps that you can throw over your back.
Love that.
With that, I always make sure that I bring a bottle of water with me so that I can stay hydrated. There's water stations across the parks that you can go refill your water bottle.
Cool.
I also like to bring sunscreen because, you know, it is Florida, but there's plenty of shade here. So there's lots of places to stop and relax. I always wear good walking shoes and socks. Even though it is Florida and it is warm outside, I do like to make sure that I am taking into account that I'm going to be doing a lot of walking throughout the day. And if I want to ride a roller coaster, I don't have to worry about sandals falling off my feet.
Been there.
Yeah.
Learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there. Yep.
I've had to buy a couple pair of shoes at the theme park.
I
R.I.P. to
had
my
cousins
flip-flops.
come, and they were from upstate New York, and they had never been before, and they showed up with like no hat, no sunglasses. They were wearing flip flops, and I'm like, guys, what are you doing, guys? And the bad part is that like you said, there's so much walking. Like the kids, went out and did a day at the parks, and their feet are hurting, and they got blisters and all this stuff, and it's like the rest of their vacation was kind of negatively affected by that.
Right.
And so we kind of swooped in as the experienced Floridian park goers, right? And so we bought them hat, we bought them sunglasses, we bought them the little cool towels that they sell a lot.
Those are really
you
smart.
like get them wet and you snap them and they're like nice and cool. You wear them around your neck. We got them Band-Aids for their shoes. I mean, but like we're like, no, you're getting back out there. You're going back on the rides and walking around. So yeah, definitely. People do not, if you're not from Central Florida, if you're not from this area, the weather is definitely a thing to think about. Definitely how much you're walking, but also
yeah.
weather is something that comes into play big time.
Sarah, anything to add to your universal bag?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a lot of things. So When I was visiting Halloween Horror Nights a lot with my frequent fear pass last year,
Yes.
I was trying to figure out what was the best bag. And I did a lot of research on this. So first I started with a fanny pack, which also, it's so good. I love a fanny pack. But I ended up with a one strap over the shoulder bag with cup holders.
Ooh.
Right. So you can put your freestyle cup in it.
Fancy.
Right. And then just get the complimentary water throughout the night. Also, your Blinky cup on one side, your freestyle cup on the other side. Like, it's the best of both worlds.
Sarah's cracked it.
This is such serious business. This is like,
These
listen.
are the tips that you need. This was my question. I was ready.
Sarah does her research. Okay.
I'm a huge fan of
Of
Universal.
course. You have to be.
You can't tell.
We David and I have joked several times on the podcast that we're just like recycling our paycheck. We're just like
Literally. It's like, oh, there's new merch.
exact. That's what it is.
Oh, the RIP tour is available.
Yep.
I'm currently wearing my favorite piece of Universal merchandise, my Universal jean jacket, my coveted jean jacket.
That
true.
jean jacket is wonderful.
It's fly.
It is the best denim.
So good.
I don't know how to explain it. It is so
the
soft.
finest denim.
It
so soft.
is. Get out there, get this jacket, y'all. It's so good.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I come with like nothing. What? Like I am streamlined because I like to go on the roller coasters and stuff. And it's like, you don't want a ton of stuff that you have to put in the lockers. You don't want a ton of stuff. So, I mean, usually my phone, my keys, my wallet, that's it. My sunglasses, maybe.
I have noticed that you have a little hack. You always wear the zippy shorts. Your pockets zip.
You've noticed my zippy shorts?
I've seen your
I
shorts zip a
have
time or
never-
two.
I have never intentionally thought about that, but I think you're right.
That's smart. If you can get like a little zippy pocket,
Why do I buy pants with zippers on?
specifically
the pockets.
pocket
Yes,
zippers.
not the normal zipper.
No, but that's important. That's important because if you're sitting down like on a
Yes.
coaster, you have something in your pocket. David found out the hard way at Volcano Bay.
Oh yes.
You lost your
I
team
left
member
my
ID.
I left my ID and my team member ID in my back pocket at Volcano Bay, and then I went down the Ko'okiri body plunge.
Yes.
straight down, and
And
then we had to shut down the slide for a little while the lifeguard jumped in to find my ID,
Rookie mistake.
and
That's right.
everyone was mad at me.
See, zippy shorts. That's where it's at. I have a
Yeah.
hack. I always use a hair tie. I take my key fob off of my key ring for my car, and I put a hair tie through it, and I like attach it to like a belt loop or like a strap or something, and then it's elastic. It'll always stay on there. It's not like it's tied on that it could come untied.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Brilliant.
I know I'm always the designated things holder. So anytime we come to the theme park, I'm glad to have my little backpack because everybody's like, hey, Jillian, you got a backpack. Hold my keys, hold my wallet, hold this, hold that. So
Yeah.
I like my little backpack.
You accept that role? You don't begrudging
It was
that role?
bestowed upon me.
Yes.
So I'm here for it. Yeah.
It is a life
You're a
of
good friend.
responsibility.
It's a good friend.
I am.
It is. I have one more question.
Bring it.
Can I ask it? Okay, I'm going to do it. Jillian and Sarah, I want to hear from both of you. What's the most wild question you've ever been asked in guest services? The craziest thing. They are staring at each other with eyes the size of saucers
most
right now.
podcast friendly wildest question?
That's the part that's
Yeah, that's the part that's tough.
We've seen some things out there
Yeah.
at the theme parks.
I think for me, and it's a question we get pretty regularly, but I mean, we do have this insider knowledge of the theme parks. We do have this insider knowledge of the way the attractions operate and the safety restrictions. And, safety is our ultimate goal. So number one, if you have to be safe.
Sure.
So something that I always find entertaining is whenever guests ask if their very, very small children can ride the giant roller coasters. I wish they could. They cannot, unfortunately. We
They
do
just
have
wanna
those
run
height
with the
restrictions.
raptors.
They do. But we have this really cool thing called height certificates, and that's a really one of my favorite hidden gems that we have here. Our attractions team members can actually grab what's called a height certificate.
Okay.
They are themed to each attraction, and we use them as kind of parting gifts for kids that are too small to ride the attractions at that time. We basically give it to them, we write their name on it, and we invite them and their party back whenever the kid is tall enough to ride, and they can essentially use it as an express pass for that attraction, then get on the ride with their family whenever they're big enough.
My heart. That's so cute.
It is so
super
precious, and it's a great way to redeem a potentially sad situation.
Wow. Oh,
I know.
I didn't know that.
Whenever we were hanging out at the front of the park, at the front of Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure, they have like kind of a little height sign with like all the different attractions and lines that go
Yeah.
up. And it's kind of this like moment at the beginning of everyone's visit where you'd see the kids like line up and they get so excited because they hit, the big ride line or something like that. They finally are tall enough to ride some roller coaster. And it's like, you're right, it's like a big accomplishment. But that's such a cool way to like celebrate that. And
Yeah, it's awesome. And, we help with that at guest services as well. So even if a guest has gone home or a guest knows that whenever they come here, their children are going to be too short to ride some of the rides, we can actually set that up for them before they arrive or after they leave. We can mail them one or set it up for them to pick up next time they visit us because we just really want everybody to get to do everything that they want to do when they come here.
That's the most adorable thing ever. Oh.
if you are a pre-planner, I'm looking at a website right now on the official Universal Orlando Resort website. There's a ride height requirements and restrictions page. It has everything for Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, and it has the heights for all the different rides. So
very helpful.
Yeah.
Sarah, what's your most wild question you've ever been asked?
I don't know if this is the most wild,
Okay.
and I also don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'm
I
going
say
to go for it.
Do it. We'll cut it.
Do it.
Okay, so one question that we get not so often, but we get it randomly, and we just got it the other day, is, are the turkey legs turkey?
Get out.
Investigate. Listen, this is like a Discover Universal investigative report right here. This is juicy.
I'm
Pun
here to tell
intended.
you, they are.
They are real turkey. That's it.
They are
Spoiler
turkey.
alert. Research.
They are not velociraptor. They are not emu. They are not ostrich. They are turkey.
Spoiler alert.
Listen, those
guys.
turkeys, they do squats. I don't know.
We can put that rumor to bed.
That's
Yes.
right. Thank you, Sarah.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You heard it here,
I don't know.
folks.
I don't think it's going to quash the rumor. They're going to be like, Discover Universal is an official mouthpiece of Universal. They're just towing the
Trying
company
to bury
line.
it.
You are going to get extra questions and guest services about that now. I heard Sarah on the podcast said that this was turkey. I don't think so.
It is.
It's turkey.
It's
Yeah.
very delicious turkey.
It's way good turkey. It smells so good in the morning. Sometimes I don't know if it's bacon or turkey. You know, like when you come here at breakfast, and then
Yeah.
you smell it wafting through the air.
Smelling things?
You're like,
We just
bacon.
walked past the Nashville hot chicken booth, and let me tell you, I do not eat fried chicken, but that smelled so good.
Today, we will be eating fried chicken.
Is the chicken really chicken, Sarah?
Yeah, I think that's true.
I think you're right, actually.
Except when it's chicken or however they spell it at the crepe
yeah.
stands.
And that stuff's really good.
Which is chicken, chicken substitute?
like
What is the
vegan-
word? Not chicken
It's so
substitute.
good.
vegan
It is
chicken
delicious.
crumbles. It's
Vegan
delicious.
chicken crumbles.
Yes, highly recommend.
Don't they like take some letters out? Isn't that how they spell it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
Chicken.
chicken.
That was very helpful.
Oh my goodness.
I learned so many things. I want a height certificate,
You're already tall enough.
but I just want
all the
one.
rides.
I just want to put it in my refrigerator.
We can
Are
make
you
that
laughing
happen.
at me?
Maybe we should ask real quick. Are there any other like common questions that come up a lot that maybe we didn't think of? Like, is there
Ooh, yeah.
is there something like that guests always want to know or that they definitely need to know?
Oh, yeah. So my favorite question that we get pretty often is if I need a ticket with the purchase of an express pass. So yes, you do. If you're just buying a normal express pass, a single use or unlimited express pass, you would also need to buy a park ticket. However, we also have unlimited express and ticket combination options available online. You just have to make sure you're purchasing the correct combo ticket. It's called a combo ticket. It does have that express included with the admission. However, if you're just purchasing an express pass, you need to make sure you're also buying that park ticket.
Good
You
call.
can't go on the ride if you're not in the park.
That is very true.
I think the other thing is like just on the way here, we got asked, where do I find a park map? And our answer is always going to be the official Universal Orlando mobile app. That is the easiest way to get a park map. The map is interactive. You can choose what you want to look at. If you want to look at shows or dining or attractions or whatever, that is the best option for looking at a map. You also have options to find guest services, locations throughout the park, or chat with guest services through the app.
I just found that feature today, and that is awesome. That
Yeah.
chat feature.
Yeah.
If you don't want to wait in line for guest services, you want answers now, there's a lot of automated answers. There's also, you can chat with like a real person on there. Super helpful at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Easy, immediate.
Now, Sarah, you mentioned gift cards earlier.
Yep.
Maybe there's a bigger talking point here about like money in general at the
Ooh,
parks.
yeah.
How does money work?
Well,
No.
David, you give someone money, they give you a turkey leg. That's how it
But
works.
more specifically, I mean, I guess thinking in terms of like paying for things with credit cards, gift cards. Are there ATMs? Is there a currency exchange if you're international? That kind of stuff.
So there are a lot of different options. Probably the easiest option would be to add your credit card to the Universal mobile app within the Universal Pay option.
Nice.
So that is super easy. You upload your credit card on there, and then you can just scan it from the app, and you don't need to have a specific device to do it. You just need the mobile app. We also have the options of, obviously, we have ATMs at the front of the park. Our guest services teams do have the option of doing a foreign currency exchange for you. Those are at the front of the park also.
Very cool. Question. If you're staying at one of the Universal Resort hotels, I know you have the option of like charging things to your room key when you're at the hotels. Does that extend to the parks as well?
It sure does. For merchandise and food, anything you could use cash or credit on, you can use your hotel room key for that.
Wow.
The hotels are awesome. I
They-
highly recommend them. Our premier hotels, you also get express passes with your room key. So,
That is so worth it.
yes. Also, all of the pools are wonderful,
Yeah.
especially Hard Rock, music underwater.
I've never been to that one. Everybody's always like, Hard Rock, Hard Rock, Hard Rock. I have to go.
I'm never underwater long enough to enjoy the song. I can only hold my breath for so long.
My personal favorite is Sapphire Falls, though. So, water slide.
Yes.
So good. So good. All of them are so good.
You got to check out our hotels episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
We go into all that stuff. We love
Yeah,
that
we do.
stuff.
Okay, what if I have another question. What if you came here and you're like having such a good time that you're like, I want to come back every day. Get me an annual pass. Where do I go? What are my options? How do I get that?
Guest services.
Yay!
So, as long as you're still here and your ticket is, still in use,
Mm-hmm.
you can stop by any guest services location before you leave, and you can actually upgrade into an annual pass. After you upgrade your ticket into the annual pass, you have 365 days to use your annual pass from the first day that you used your ticket.
Oh, cool.
Since we do have a couple of options for annual passes, you would need to upgrade into one of the paid in full options. We're not able to upgrade your ticket into a flex pay annual pass.
Okay.
When you say upgrade, are you saying you get credit for that day's admission towards an annual pass?
Oh, yeah. Whatever you paid for your ticket, you would just go to guest services and you
See,
pay the
that's cool.
difference to upgrade into the
Yeah.
annual pass. So it's like you just bought the annual pass in the first place.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And there's different levels of annual passes.
There are
I like the one that
4
includes
different levels.
parking. Because that's a bonus.
Yes.
Bonus perk.
Yeah, so we do have 4 different levels. We've got the seasonal pass, the power pass, the preferred pass, and the premier pass. And within that, you have 2 or 3 park options. So if you want to include Volcano Bay, you can choose the 3 park option of any of our annual passes. We do
You should.
have.
You should
You
include
absolutely
Volcano
should.
Bay.
Yeah. We do have a couple of passes that have blockout dates. So if you want 365-day access to the parks, I would recommend getting a preferred annual pass or a premier annual pass. My personal preference is the premier pass because it also includes express access at our attractions after 4 p.m. each day.
As well as the non-peak Halloween Horror Nights ticket. Just saying.
So many perks.
I'm seeing you get valet parking as well with that premier pass. Too,
You
right?
do, yeah, on non-event nights,
Okay,
and as
okay.
long as it's not at capacity, you sure do.
Wow.
Yes, it doesn't include complimentary valet. Just remember to tip your drivers.
That's right.
I will say that. Used to be in parking and valet manager. So
And that is, actually, Sarah, provides a great transition because I do want to say guest services, you guys are rock stars and you guys get all kinds, as you have seen, crazy questions and just long lines and people coming to talk about what's not working for their vacation. So if you are one of those people and you're visiting guest services, like, please be nice to them.
Yeah.
They're so lovely. They're so knowledgeable. They really care about the guests. They really care about your experience and your vacation.
They're
and
such
so,
problem solvers.
yes,
Yeah.
they are great. So treat them with the respect they deserve.
Our ultimate goal is really to help everyone, and I want everybody to truly know that whether you're calling us, you're emailing us, you're contacting us via chat, or you're visiting one of our in-park guest services locations, whoever you speak to, that person is there to solve whatever problem you have. We are there to listen. We are there to find a solution for you. We truly want to help.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. And if somebody helps you, leave a hashtag UO fist bump for
There
them.
you go. That's a great idea.
How does that work, Sarah? You just got excited.
because that's my team. So I
Is
love
that,
that.
cool.
is that like on any social media? You just hashtag UO fist bump?
Any social media channel. We see them a lot on Twitter, on the UOAP Facebook group. We get a lot of those also. So yeah, anytime you want to provide positive recognition to a team member or they made your day, answered your question, went above and beyond for you, we'd love to see those hashtag UO fist bumps out there.
Yay.
Well, I'm giving you a live in-person hashtag UO fist bump.
Full on. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for answering our questions. We really appreciate it. Jillian and Sarah are guest services gurus for the day. That was a really delightful discussion with Jillian and Sarah.
Wealths of knowledge.
Absolutely.
Stuff I haven't even thought of.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that had never even occurred to me. Seriously, head over to guest services. They are awesome. Every single person over there, really helpful, always smiling, and always eager to solve any of your problems.
I'm about to solve how to end this episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Let's hit the take 5 rewind.
Okay. Number 1, download the official Universal Orlando app. That has all the information that you need. It's got that parking reminder. You can upload your credit card information if you want to pay for anything, any items on property. You can upload your credit card information to the official Universal Orlando app, and then you can use that Universal Pay feature to pay for food, drinks, snacks, merchandise at their participating locations all across the resort.
Number 2, be prepared for weather. You might want to check out a weather app a few days out before your trip here. Make sure you dress accordingly. We're talking sneakers, comfortable clothes. You might also want to pack an umbrella or a poncho, especially here in Central Florida. It is like clockwork during the summer. It is going to pour rain 4 o'clock almost every single day. So just be prepared for it. And also when that happens, some of the outdoor attractions may not be open due to weather, especially if you're over there enjoying Volcano Bay. But the weather can change very quickly here in Central Florida. So just plan ahead.
Number 3, purchase your tickets in advance. You can always add on those upgrades like a Universal Express Pass or the photo package when you get to the park, but definitely plan out the tickets that you're looking to purchase ahead of time. And remember, when you do get here, just like Jillian said, you can upgrade that ticket if you want to. You can apply that day rate towards an upgraded, even annual pass. So that's a really great way to get the most out of your tickets at your vacation.
Number 4, Child Swap is available for kids who might not be tall enough yet to ride some of the more intense attractions here at Universal Orlando. And we did learn from our amazing guests that you can get a certificate to actually bring back when they're tall enough, and they'll get to use that like an express pass. That's super cool. For any other information you need on the rides, check out the Rider Guide, which is on the Universal Orlando website for more information on height requirements and anything else you might need to know about the attractions. We will link to that Rider Guide in the show notes.
And number 5, use guest services. As you learned from Jillian and Sarah today, they have got all the information, and use them before you get here. You can call ahead, you can message them, you can connect with them digitally, you can use the chat feature in the official Universal app. The locations are all over the place. They're in the front of the parks and City Walk, even inside the park as well, and at the hotels. So like we said, they are a wealth of information, always eager to help, and they're going to make you really enjoy your vacation.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope we gave you all the information you need to get here, to get through the gates, and to enjoy yourself and have an amazing vacation here at Universal Orlando. A big thank you to our amazing guests from Guest Services. Thank you to our producer, Michelle, our engineer, Art. Guys, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you want to hear out of our podcast. What kind of topics should we explore on future episodes? We want to make this podcast going forward all about you guys. So let us know on social media. Hit us up in the comments, and we look forward to having more fun with you guys.
You got it. A lot of episodes coming up. Thank you for joining us for Discover Universal Podcast. To learn more about Universal Parks and Resorts, head to our show notes for links to our Discover Universal blog for a more in-depth look around our destination. While you're there, sign up to receive emails that will include articles, videos, and this podcast delivered right to your inbox to prepare for your next vacation. If you liked what you heard, leave us a review and don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.